Hey, this is Cameron and welcome to the practice log. Whoa. Oh man, we got a lot of stuff to get into today, so let's go ahead and jump into the practice, shall we? Listen, I know what the title says and it probably seems like I'm just telling lies to get views, but it's not entirely a lie. I have been kind of secretly, but I have mentioned it a couple of times, have been learning a percussive technique on guitar. I started practicing it at the beginning of the semester. I'm in grad school, by the way. First semester. It's almost done. Woo, so much fun. And I'm going to talk about that today, and I'm also going to show it to you, and this is also going to be like a technique update, rest stroke thing, and on top of all that, I'm also just going to go ahead and lump in what I've worked on of Sonata Giacosa here, because I think I've found a way to play that without getting a copyright claim, so I'm just going to try that today. If I still get one, it's fine, I don't care. Even though it kind of sucks because I clickbaited this video, and that's like, you know, money left on the table. But it's fine, you're welcome. I know, like, you're welcome. I'm going to play my, like, incomplete Sonata Giacosa for you. You're so lucky. Whoa, what is this right now? This is a practice log, and in case this is your first practice log, let me tell you how this goes. It starts with a little bit of small talk. That's this in the following couple of minutes. I'm going to answer some comment questions, and that might be subbed out for just showing off the techniques that I'm working on right now. Maybe I'll touch upon one or two comments, we'll see. And then I'm going to play a piece that I've been working on, which you've been hearing the same 2 or 3 pieces for a while. It's because I'm working on modern stuff too, but again, they get copyright claims, so I just really feel discouraged to play them for you. But I think I've done enough work on Sonata Giacosa to where I can justify that risk. The next time I play it, it's going to be like complete. The first movement, I mean. I'm just going to play the first 3 pages for you today. Yeah, so what is the deal with this title? Percussive guitar. You just had a whole thing against Marcin, and like, sure, you were talking about how you're impressed with his classical training, and that's the only reason why you can do anything. But you didn't seem too hot on the percussive style because, I don't know, you made these arguments like if you took away the flashy guitar tapping and then look at the notes, is the music really that interesting? I think a lot of you were saying that in the comment section too. Like, does anybody actually listen to this? And the answer is yes, probably in like 30-second bursts though, and also on their Instagram feed. Okay, I'm sorry, enough of the roasting for now. This is your opportunity to roast me because I'm going to play guitar for you. I've been working on rasguados. That's the percussive technique. I know it's not what you want. It's not kick and snare and bass, but you know what? It's good enough. So I've sort of hinted at this in past videos. I remember the Paul Gilbert video, I like tried to do some rasguados. That was 2 weeks ago or so, and since then I've been working on specifically my 3-finger rasguado, which is this thing. I don't know exactly what these are called, but that's the rasguado. AMI, going out and then in. So I've been practicing that pretty hardcore for the last 2 weeks, and the reason why is because I've also been practicing it for the last 2 or 3 months or so, but not as hardcore, because I simply just wasn't that great at it, and it's not really fun to practice things that you're not good at. But then, once I started getting good at it became easy to kind of make these little exercises out of it, so now I find myself practicing rasguado for 2 to at the most 4 hours a day, and I've been doing that for about 2 weeks. I think yesterday I literally practiced rasguado for 4 hours, like my fingers were hurting. So this is something that I've mentioned a lot, and it's something that rasguado is kind of opening my eyes to. First off, I mean, I need it for the Spanish rep that I'm playing, like especially the Rodrigo third movement. I want a sick rasguado, because there's nothing more embarrassing than a weak rasguado when you're like playing Rodrigo. You know, you gotta work that up. But I'm also finding that it's allowing me to shred on the classical guitar in ways that are almost reminiscent of how I used to shred on a steel string guitar. Because I can shred on a steel string guitar. I'm pretty good with alternate picking and economy picking and stuff, because I just used to do that since I was a kid. And the thing is with guitar, especially when you started at my age, which was 19, I'm 27 now, so it's been 8 years of classical training, and 1 degree working on a 2nd degree. So I'm pretty serious about it, I'd say. When you ditch the pick, you sacrifice a lot of speed. That comes with being able to articulate more notes at a time with more control. But it is sad to let go of that speed, you know? So of course I found ways around it, like I worked on my legato slurs. Which is cool. It's also kind of weak though. It's not as powerful as the pick. You know, so it doesn't quite scratch that itch for me. It does something though, because again, being able to shred on your instrument, I think is like freedom. Like if you find yourself limited when you're just trying to play a scale or an idea, you don't have as much freedom as you probably should have on your instrument. That's something I've struggled with on classical guitar. I've been working on my rest strokes for that. I'll show you those when I'm more warmed up with the metronome too, to see exactly how fast I can get. I think last time I like barely touched 150, which was my like several year horizon goal 6 months ago. So it's amazing that I actually got that. It's not consistent though, and it's not very powerful. So with rasguados, first off, I've just been working on muted strings, whatever. And when it comes to playing with the metronome, I'm finding that it's similar to tremolo, where you have this like speed where it becomes 3 separate things. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then eventually you'll get to a speed to where it's really one thing. And you're kind of leading with A, and everything else just needs to follow. So it really turns into this. Like if I'm... And we can go faster. Let's actually go... We end up with that. I'm just kind of going up, whatever. And I'm really just looking for that downbeat each time. I like doing that too. It's very noisy. So it's just one of the cool sounds I kind of found with the rasguados. Like you can do it anywhere. Just little fun things like that. It's like vaguely reminiscent of flamenco. I'm not trying to learn flamenco, but I am trying to just be able to play whatever I want on the guitar. So I've been developing my 3-finger rasguado. Other ways that I'm using it, I really like scales. I've been trying to figure out ways to play scales with my rasguado too, and I think I found something that's pretty effective. So I'm kind of using electric guitar muting technique with my left hand. And then just a really aggressive, just thumb always planted if I'm not playing the 6th string. And if I do all this, it ends up that I can play single notes using my rasguado. Which is kind of cool, because it sounds like a blast beat, right? Like, I couldn't do a blast beat that fast with a pick. I'm doing a 2-finger rasguado there. So that's fun. It's not quite scales, but it's individual notes, which is, I don't know, it's just kind of fun. I've been doing that in 2 different ways. What you just heard is all 6 rasguado strokes per note. So, I'm just, every cycle. And I can get pretty high up. Oh yeah. So I can actually get to the high strings. Sorry, my tempo's all messed up. I haven't been doing this very long, and I'm gonna do a lot more metronome practice with this. So you'll notice my thumb, I have to mute 2 strings at a time with it. So I kind of shove it like between the strings. A little side note with this AMI technique, if you remember from when I used to live stream, I would occasionally take like 10-minute breaks and work on my Meshuggah bleed pattern. Which I can't do. I didn't work on it too much. But I found it really easy to do with this, or if you just go AMI and then out. And I'm doing like a light mute with my left hand actually, which is unusual. But I don't think I can mute while doing these right hand techniques. I bet with a compressor and some distortion that'll sound pretty heavy. You get the idea, like musically it's not useful, but this is just stuff that's kind of good for the soul. It's good to be able to just play things that you like on the guitar. And yeah, I've been finding that rasguados are helping me a lot with that. Another thing that I've been working on, because I showed you the 6. How about 3s now? You kind of have to think about where A is. Up, and then change. Like change, change, change. Let's talk about 2s now. I just started yesterday working on a 2-finger rasguado, which I think is going to be really big for my IM rest stroke, because it just seems like it would be, right? So 2s. I can't do it fast, but it's going to look like this. And it can still get really quick. So you can get like every combination of number here. Next up is 1, which is the crazy one. I've been working on 1s in a couple different ways. Mostly I've been doing the triplet rasguado. Which right now that might sound impressive, or maybe not. I'm pretty sure I'm mostly just doing that and then just kind of getting some percussiveness on the side, which is fine, but I've been working that really slow just to make sure every note. It's tough though. And I always use metronome with these when I'm working on it. Right now, I honestly can't get much above 60 beats per minute with doing like 6 tuplets. It's weird. It's just like so... It's just a lot of finger movement and it's kind of unusual. But I bet if I practice that for a few months, that's going to be sick. And it does have potential to be at a speed that's like basically as fast as I can legato. Which if I can have like a fast percussive scale that's as fast as my legato... It's all garbage right now, like I'm just like hitting strings. But I can see some potential with that, that's pretty cool. Yeah, once I get to like 70 or 80 beats per minute, it just starts becoming messy. But I'm gonna practice that for a few months, and I really want that. It would just be so cool to be able to bust out like hard and fast scales at like that speed. Alright, the next one I've been doing too, and this is also 1 stroke per note scales. I've been doing, since yesterday, the 2 finger. Which I can't do very well, but I feel like it's going to be more like an IM stroke, and it's the triplet, like getting used to 3s is really weird. So I'm going to work that up too, because I think that probably has more potential for just being able to easily play scales. And so you might be looking at all this and be thinking, like, what is the point of practicing all this? Why do you want these messy, noisy scales? And I mean, first off, like, I just think they're cool. Like, I know they're kind of like flamenco-y, but again, like, I'm not even that interested in playing flamenco, but I do just want to be able to play whatever I want without any limitations, you know, that's important to me. And second, what I'm doing right here is so much better than just... Because really all I need the rasguado for is just like on chords like that. But man, doing that for 2 to 4 hours a day would be super boring. And this is my way of making that practice more interesting. And then on top of that, I also am developing new ways to actually express myself on this instrument. Which I know is strange to hear from me, but it is important for me to not only be able to play dead people's music, but also to, you know, come up with things that I actually like doing. Not that I don't like playing dead people's music. So that's what I've been working on. And also, I think that it's going to serve in my IM scales, because you just always hear that from everybody. The flamenco people have the fastest scales. It's because they practice rasguados so much. So, you know what? I'll just start practicing rasguados an absurd amount, and we'll see what it does. Alright, you know what? While we're at it, let's see how my IM scales are, because I've been doing that pretty hardcore for the last 2 weeks, and honestly, my IM practice has taken a back seat to that. So let's see if it's helped it at all. And then after that, maybe I'll answer some softball questions, play my piece, and then we're out of here for the day. You know, that guitar has medium tension strings. Let me get one with high tension. I think it might be easier. This is what I bought with the Marson money right here. This is a Pedro Valbuena from 1995. It has no number on it, so I don't know which of his this is. I'm just kidding. I don't own this guitar. I'm borrowing it from someone. But this is an extremely traditional guitar. Fan brace, level neck, all that stuff. Cedar top, of course. Alright, this is 151 right here. Let's just go to the end of my limits. Let's go right to 170. And this will be the new goal. If I can get like a super sloppy 170 in a couple of months, I'd be like, that's good progress, that's fine. Oh my god. Nope. Alright, that's not happening. We're gonna give up on that for now. But I think 170 will be doable in the future. Let me go ahead and piddle my way through the Rodrigo. Might as well play the Spanish guitar. And then we're gonna call this a day. Oh god, I just played through it once. This is gonna be such crap. You guys are gonna make fun of me so hard. Especially with the clickbait title and all the crap I've been talking on Marson. But you know what? I'm being vulnerable right now. That's what this whole channel has been about. It's about talking crap and then being vulnerable and accepting that you suck and then eventually getting better. And that's how this works, alright? Come back to me in like 4 months and I promise you I'll be shredding this, alright? Morro said. Alright, that's what I got of Sonata Giacosa. There's only a little bit of new material left in that I haven't looked at. I got most of it, I think. The last part was really rough, I know. I'm sorry you guys had to listen to that, but next time it'll be better. Alright, well I think that pretty much covers everything for this one. So, let's go ahead and wrap it up. We'll talk more in the next practice log where I'll just answer questions. But thanks for looking at the techniques that I'm working on. And hopefully, if anything, just let this remind you to, you know, find techniques that you enjoy playing and find, like, ways of playing them that are fun. And that's how you really put in the long practice on guitar, you know? All work and no play. That's not the best way to go about it, I think. Alright, let's go ahead and wrap it up. Hey, of course, if you made it this far, be sure to subscribe and leave a like. I'm not taking students, but I know people who are, my fellow grad students. So if you're interested in online classical guitar lessons, let me know, and I'll hook you up. Email in the description. Of course, head on down over to Root and Delight. I'm wearing this a lot. It's been getting cold where I am. Don't use that to geolocate me. It's not gonna work. And anything else, I don't know, check out some more videos. There's been a lot of them, right? Alright, I'll see you in the next one.